Hello and welcome to Tax 1. In this tax, we are going to use Power Query and Power BI Desktop. Before you get here, you would have downloaded and installed Power BI Desktop. So the purpose of this lesson, or the goal that we want to achieve, is to get data from an Excel file and import into Power BI Desktop for our visualization and just to tell a little story. So to start with this, when you open your Power BI Desktop, you're going to see an interface that looks like this. So this interface, you can see your get data here, the recent sources, you see them populated here, and other reports if you have those reports that you've done at all. But if you are a new user, this is what you are going to see. So let's just quickly close here. Let's ignore the signing in first. We are going to do that later. Let's just quickly close and see the interface itself. So here is Power BI Desktop. On Power BI Desktop, there are key features on this. We call this this part of it the report part. So you can see it here. When you hover over this, you see the report. This looks like a graph. Then the table part. Then the data part, the model. Sorry, this is the data. Then this is the model. So now, for this, you also have this pane here, which you can get on your visualization form. You also have your home, your insert, your modeling, and your view tab, which we are going to just use as we go forward in this task. So now, our task here is to get data, transform, and load into Power BI, right? So we are going to get data. Let's just quickly take a preview at the data we are going to work on. So this is our customer data. So we are going to work on this customer data and this churned customer data. Also the digital channel data, these three data sets. That's what we are going to clean up and move into Power BI for just a little analysis. Let's go to Power BI Desktop once more. So now, to get data from that Excel file, we just have to come here on this Get Data tab. There are various ways which you can get data. You can get data from here and you can get data from here. So let me use this place. So get data from Excel workbook. So I'm getting from Excel workbook. So this navigates me, upon clicking, navigates me to the location where I have that Excel workbook. If it does not go to this location, you can always navigate across your computer to the location where you have the Excel workbook. So I click on customer data. So this is what I want. This is what I want us to work with. So then open. So Power BI literally connects to that data. So it brings up this navigator. You know, in our previous lesson, on our introduction to Power BI, we looked at Power BI itself, then we also looked at Power Query. So this navigator is navigating us to Power Query. So in Power Query, we clean up and transform our data. That is where we do the cleanup and transformation, which is like the second stage of developing a report in Power BI. So let's quickly jump on it. So we are interested in churned customers. So you can click on multiple tables. So these are tables now. So churned customers, customer table, then the digital channels table. We will come to this deposit table later. So, but first of all, let's work with these three tables. So then, always don't click on load, no matter how clean your data is. So you have to go to transform first. Yeah, in my opinion, transform should actually come first before load. So this is how it is. Then we work with it this way. So we click on transform data. So transform data navigates us to Power BI query, to Power Query editor. So on our Power Query editor, we are going to do some cleanup and some transformation. So before loading this data into Power BI Desktop. So first of all, we'll look at each table. So our churned customers. So it seems Power Query has automatically done some transformations for us. But always, again, so whenever you bring in data into Power Query, always ensure that you go to these applied steps. So on your query settings, these applied steps, and remove change type. So I will tell you why. This is because some data, so Power BI, Power Query use the intelligence developed on the system to just automatically transform this data. So there are some cases where the data it's transform it to. For example, you have some kind of IDs that starts with zeros at the front, at the most left side. That's at the beginning of the data. So once this automatic transformation sees them as numbers and just automatically removes those zeros from the front of those IDs. So that is why you should always remove the change type. So I come to my customer, I remove that change type. I come to my digital channels, I take off that change type. So this is just getting data into Power BI to our Power Query editor. In the next video, we'll be cleaning up this data and transforming this data to be usable for our analysis. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.